This this has been all over Instagram, TikTok. Texas again has some very interesting laws. I, it's like the Wild Wild West here in Texas. And one of them, I know a lot of females need to hear this. I'm gonna let this young lady, she is a lawyer. Again, the videos that I am showing, I give credit where credit is due. In the bottom of the description, you'll see I've tagged this young lady, Lauren the lawyer, explains some very interesting laws, family laws, particularly in Texas. And this is one of the laws that she says is gonna cause some mouths to drop. It did mine. Let's check it out.
This hurts my heart to deliver this news. I'm not trying to put us on the spot. I'm not. I just know that this is something that we do a little bit more often than the men. Brace yourself, clutch your pearls, grab a tissue for the tears. It is now illegal to go through your husband's phone. And this is for every ear that can hear me. This is not just a Texas issue. This is also a federal crime. The Federal Wiretap Act states it is unlawful to intercept any wire, oral, or electronic communication. It is also unlawful to disclose the contents of the wire, oral, or electronic communication. Y'all know what's considered electronic communication? Text messages, emails, DMs. And it doesn't matter if you're in a community property state, saying that the phone is community property will not work. Even if your husband willingly gave you his password, it still would not work. The courts feel that even if he did give you the password, you went beyond the scope of what he thought you would reasonably be doing with his phone, such as taking screenshots of a text message that you would eventually use against him in court. I was in court waiting on my turn, watching another hearing before me. It was a divorce case, and the wife was on the stand talking about adultery. Her attorney then started the process of admitting text messages into evidence that showed the husband was talking to this woman, and it was very inappropriate. The text messages 100% proved husband was cheating. There was photos, there was conversations about the other night. All of a sudden, husband lawyer jumps up and says, Your Honor, I think you need to admonish the witness about her Fifth Amendment right to self-incrimination because she's about to tell on herself and admit to a crime. Then he turns ever so slightly and says, I think you might want to tell her lawyer as well because they'll both be in jail together. The judge then proceeds to tell her that how she came about getting those text messages out of her husband's phone is potentially a violation of the Texas Wiretap Act and the Federal Wiretap Act. He looks up at her lawyer and says, Counsel, the fact that you're in possession of unlawful potential wiretap material incriminates you as well. And the judge did a quick recess so everyone could go consult with criminal law attorneys. Somehow you made it to the end of this video without choking. If you are still with us, here's a bonus. Here's an honorable mention. It is also now illegal for you to have air tags on your children if you're in the middle of a custody case. Let me know in the comments which.
Okay, y'all, that was a bit. Yeah, this goes back for me. Uh, Sometimes the court, the government, I think gets into our business just a little bit too much. Now, I was reading some of the comments in this, and a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. They can't tell me what to do. I'm paying the bill. Yes, regardless of whether you're paying the bill or not. That is his phone with his security code. That's his. The law says you're not supposed to look at it. I think this is bad business. I really do. I think, and maybe there was no way for them to distinguish being in a relationship, versus not. I mean, there had to be some stipulation they could add. If you are legally married, this does not apply. I also think that if you're in a healthy relationship, you normally set boundaries. Boundaries because You are you and he is he. And that there needs to be some personal space, some personal boundaries. Whatever that looks like for you and your partner, communicate, work it out. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to look at his phone or her phone, but what I'm saying is you need to work it out. Whatever works for you, set some boundaries. If you have to constantly look in the person's phone, I think that's a red flag that you are in an unhealthy relationship, that maybe you need to reevaluate, figure out what's going on. I also think you need to have your own stuff, just like my children. They're not allowed in my bathroom. When I'm in the bathroom, whatever I'm doing, they're not supposed to be in there. Just like I wouldn't expect my spouse to be in the bathroom with me. I think to have a healthy relationship, you need to set boundaries. You need to set personal space. And that looks different for everyone. If you feel like you have to go through their phone, why? Do you not trust that person? If you don't trust the person, why are you with the person? So let's say you're married. Now you have to figure out how to rebuild that trust. It's difficult. It can be done, but you got to communicate and you have to work your way through that. It's not all bad. Do I agree with the law? No. I really don't think any government entity should tell me when and how to manage what goes on in my house. Then I'm wondering, like, how do you prove that the person was cheating? I don't know. I'm sure you can figure out. She got to hire a private eye. I, and I know this is supposed to protect, but sometimes I think we're just going a little too far. Do you think the law is going too far? Do you think that it's necessary to protect ourselves? Do we have the right to go into our spouse's phone, our spouse's email, and then to communicate it? Tell the world? Ooh. So, what does this mean for these celebrities that put their spouse on blast with their text messages on social media? Remember when Princess did that with Ray J? Ooh, this gonna be some problems for a lot of people. I, I don't know. Y'all tell me. But make sure you support Lauren the lawyer. She's over on TikTok. She is has some very good tips and information. Make sure you check her out. Moving on.